So good morning, guys, and today is 30th, the last day in Goa, and also we are going for a tour that is House of Chandor, and it starts at 9:30. So we just got ready. We haven't had a breakfast, just a coffee that we made in house, and Alin is getting ready. So actually, she's already ready, and we're leaving in 5 minutes now because the distance from here to there it takes around 50 minutes to reach by scooty. And I also have to fill some petrol, so I hope we just reach in time because I think we are going to take the same National Highway 66. So just pray we reach on time. And the morning over here looks like this, beautiful, quiet. I think nobody's awake yet because I think we are the only one who have a tour lined up. There's a small rivulet from there that passes through. So yeah, we're heading out now. So guys, we have finally reached the location that we're supposed to. This is the place that we all are going to be meeting, and from here head on, we're going to be checking out the churches and the old houses of Chandor. So you can see the church around over here. This is the church over here that is Christ the King statue, and probably there are people waiting here. So we got another batch. So that's the third one for the trip. So I think we're done for the three. We're in three tours, right? So far. This is the third tour and this is the third batch.
Yeah, it was a pretty hectic ride from where we stay, so
It's almost a 50-minute ride. 15-minute ride on the scooty, and it was adjoining the National Highway 66. So yeah. This is Our Lady of Bethlehem, I guess. Yeah. It's
So this church that you see, okay, was built in the year 1645, right? But it's still not the oldest religious structure with it. There's a chapel that was built in 1604. But the facade that you see, okay, was made around during Portuguese time. There was a very bad thunderstorm, and the rain seeped through the facade and it collapsed. So the whole facade was redone in the new Gothic architecture, right? Can anyone read the name of the church? Yes. Wow.
Church of Bethlehem.
Yes. Our Lady of Bethlehem.
Our Lady of
Nuestra
Bethlehem.
Senora de Bethlehem. Right? Our Lady of Bethlehem. Our Lady. Yes. Senora. So we have three churches like this in Goa. One is here in Chandor, one is in Great Falls, and in Kansaulim as well. Now, the significance behind this church is that we celebrate a very grand feast today, which is the Three Kings Feast. Right? You must have heard about the feast. So that is where three boys between the age of 8 to 12, they get chosen to be kings, and they get all decked up in their king suits. They get horses from the neighboring state as well, and they have a very grand feast on the 6th of January, which marks the end of Christmas season for us. So on the 6th of January, we pick three boys, right, and we start from the mall, which is where the Our Lady of Piety Chapel is. We start from there, we come down in a whole procession, because they're reenacting how the three kings went to visit Jesus. So we come down and we come here for a high dose. Now if you're in Goa still, around that time, you should really visit this village. It's a really grand feast. You see everybody coming back home, for this feast as well. There's a fair, huge, stalls and everything, right? Then coming to the two statues that you can see, one is very famous, right? So over there, that statue is Saint Peter. He's holding the key, right? So in Christianity, it says that Saint Peter is holding I'll give you a hint. Something like Taj Mahal. Mausoleum. Okay. So these two mausoleums, okay, in Christianity we bury our dead, right? So after 3 years we renew the bones, and we put it in niches. So these two mausoleums belong to the family over there. So on the left hand side you have the Medici Braganza mausoleum, and on the right the dome-shaped one is the Braganza Pereira one. Okay. And now you might see the common surname over here, Braganza. So Braganza was a title given to them by the King of Portugal. So they were known as the royal family over there. Under the main roofing you can see semicircle tiles, the white semicircle, right under the main roofing. So these are called chronicles, okay, and they were said to be made on the tiles of slate. So they are not all the same shape, right? And the following shape, most of them, right? So there's this fact that we say that back in the day the mother would take her daughter to the potential husband's house, and they would see how many lines they had of that. The more lines you had, the more wealthier you were. Right? So go around with the Portuguese houses that might have like 4 or 5 that are pretty rich people. So there's a story about this place. Okay, so there was a battle between a dynasty and the Kadambas and Vijayanagas. And the Kadambas and Vijayanagas, they joined their forces together and they won this battle, right? So they wanted to come up with something to commemorate this. So they came up with something called the Mussol Fair. So it happens, you all know about Easter, right?
Yes.
So before Easter we have Ash Wednesday. So before Ash Wednesday in Goa we celebrate something called Carnival. So 3 days before Ash Wednesday. So on the second day over here in Kota, so this whole Vado, this whole ward is called Kota. Okay, and Kannada influence, so it means Kote, right? It means fort. So, yes. So this is a fortified area. So when they came up with this Mussol Fair, okay, it is a sort of like a dance. Now what they do is the Catholic Kshatriya men, they dress up in dhoti, okay, in a vest and a colorful body, and they have a sort of like a stick, which is sort of like a rice pestle, right? And they do a circle around someone who's wearing a bear mask, and the person who's sort of like the enemy, right? And these Catholic Kshatriya men, they dance around them, and they sort of do this action. You will be seeing the pictures and the sticks as well in the next house because Mr. Ranjit takes part in it. So on the second day of Carnival, it happens over here in Kota, and then on the third day, it happens in the next wall called Kaveri. Okay? So that is about the Mussol Fair, and Pankaj is going to tell you a nice story about why Shamar is known as the cursed village. Okay. So he's a drama student. Okay, so he has a lot of
Looks like a
expressions. So enjoy the curse story.
Good morning, how are you all?
Good.
So when we speak about a curse or a kind of a haunted village, but this is not considered a haunted village, but when it comes to cursed village, the Chandor or Chandrapur back then, which stands for number 1 or number 2 in Goa. And I think there are very similar stories all over across India, which represents only one thing, that king dies in the war and queen follows such a system, and while following such a system she goes and curses the village, right? So before that, few facts about this particular village is that This is the first. So this village belongs to. But like there's one lady from this village. The first lady in all over Goa to hold 4-wheelers license. The first lady in all over Goa to hold a license for gun. Similar way, one of the oldest houses in Goa, which is more than 900 years old house, belongs to this particular village. Also, I think Tawana and we both belong to this particular village. Still, her family stays here. My family doesn't stay here because of the curse part. Okay. Apparently, somewhere back then, my family used to stay in this particular area, and then we shifted to the first part and shifted. Now we ended up staying in the city. Okay, so back then, as Tawana said, we saw 2 dynasties in this particular place. Vijayanagara, earlier Kadamba, later it was merged with Vijayanagara. They were first cousins. Right, so that time there was this king known as King Harihara. King Harihara II. If you do research, you always saw King Harihara I. There's King Harihara II.
Harihara Bukra, they say.
Yes, Harihara Bukra II. He's a person who used to rule this particular place, and he's also known to be one of the very strongest king back then. He's the same person who had a war with Bahmani rulers and won the war, and the Mughal started. By then, technically, there was a period where people started splitting out, and the Kadamba and the Vijayanagara family started becoming smaller to smaller. Similarly, dynasties also started becoming very small. Initially, there was a time where people used to rule entire state or 3-4 states by one king, but later it became such a small rule that 5 villages were ruled by one dynasty, 5 villages were ruled by another dynasty. That's why we call it a Panchakroshi. Okay, that's what started, and the king finally gets married to a beautiful princess from Hangar, whose name is Kevanya. She's going to be one of the very beautiful princesses in the entire Kadamba dynasty area, and it's been known with the beauty. She had a very amazing brain as well. She was one of the smartest queen later actually became the queen. But one bad thing about the queen was she was very attached to her father, and she always used to go to meet her father. I think at least once in 3 months she should travel to Hangal to meet her father. Same thing happened, and that was a period where 1334 to 1347, this period when Indrabhuta travels to India. He was appointed for 3 years in India to teach Navy and the travel and the smartship to all other Indian Bahmani rulers, Navy base. That's when he starts traveling, and he comes to Karwar, the Hornavar place, and he stays there to teach the naval base and how he would implement all the traveling things to teach the people how to conquer anything. By this time, particular Queen Kevanya travels at her father's place, and since she's a queen, king sends 50% of soldiers, slaves and servants with the help of the queen, because you need to travel a lot, right? Western Ghats, you don't go through waterways. That's what happened, and queen went back, and one of the well-wishers took a message to Jamaluddin Hornavar, the father-in-law of Ibn Battuta, saying that the strongest ruler in the dynasty is with the shortage of soldiers. The best time to attack. Very new. He takes the help of Ibn Battuta. He travels from River Kushavati. So Chandar village is has a River Kushavati flowing. So anyways, back then waterways was the amazing place to travel, right? Similar way, they take a hint and they travel to this place. Very easy conquering. No king was with a shortage of soldiers. No one is there. They come, they conquer, they loot, and they go. Now, in this while, queen returns back to her husband's place after a long period. When she comes back, she doesn't have any idea that her husband is killed. But when she comes, she observes different soldiers and different category people. And that's how she realizes that something is fishy now. She's been given the same privilege as a queen, but she's been told that you leave the place because this place doesn't belong to your husband. Now, Indian married women mentality. I came in the Doli, I'll go on earthy only. That's the system. I came here as a bride, I'll go as a dead body. Similar way, she says that no, I would not go, but I would do some practices and I would do. So the story says that she came, this road goes and ends at the bank of River Kushavati, this particular road. So they say that she traveled to this particular bank of the River Kushavati. Now do you all know Sati system?
Yes.
We have 2 types of Sati system in Goa. One in India. One is sitting on the fire body when husband dies, basically a widow woman is dressed up with all her jewelries and everything. She sits and they touch fire, she needs to end her life with her husband. This was one cycle. Another cycle in India, we either bury or we burn people. Okay? So, in this when we bury, we cannot bury a live person, right? That's a process of samadhi. A person who wants to take moksha, he gets buried lively. So now what will be the second option? So in Goa, in Konkan coast, since we are closer by to waterways, people here prefer jumping in the brides or the women, once the husband is dead, they jump in the water body, showing their last time. So where other part of India, people worship a lady and next they fire everything as a Satyeshwar. In Goa, or in particular Chandrapur, we worship a hand as lady showing her last bye to people. And she's showing Satyeshwar. Similar way, the queen comes here, she breaks a bangle, she wipes her sindoor, she follows the widow system. And by this time, the entire people from Kadamba dynasty are there to greet her. Queen, right at the end, she's doing something which is a ritual or a culture. Everyone realizes one thing, that queen is upset on her. Now they happen to ask her questions and she says that what bed did my husband and me do all the journey help my husband to win the bed. Now what was the main role of the local people in war? If you see, when it is a war, technically an outside ruler coming to your hometown to loot or to kill your king. So mainly all the men are on the floor area to represent the war and everything, and they're taking the part. But the local people, what they would do is they would throw this hot boiling oil or water on the opposite soldiers. They'll show them the wrong direction, or they'll trap them and they'll kill them. So that's how they technically play a very major role to help the king to win the battle. But here, since it was a Bahmani ruler, since Bahmani people had a very, when we read books or when we read stories, we see a very, very bad impact right, at women and everything. That's what happened, and the local people thought to protect their women and daughters and sisters, and they didn't take part in the war. Since because of that, the war became very easy, and this is what people were trying to connect to the queen, and they were trying to tell her that we were protecting our people rather than being part. But she couldn't understand. She's like, no, we are family. You could have came far and helped my husband. This thing happened, and at the end, she says no. So initially, what they say is, okay, whatever happened, happened. But before leaving this particular, before leaving ending your life, please give us a blessing for this woman. So now Sati system comes up and she needs to jump. But before that, she says that I want to give a command to this village. So the command says that she tells the people to gather entire gold from Kadamba dynasty. And they gather entire gold from Kadamba dynasty, and she technically takes a grinding stone. She particularly participates and grinds all the gold jewelry, makes them into dusty particles, and gives a command to throw in the gold jewelry in river Kusharu. So when we speak or when we talk with our grandparents, we always connect to a river which flows with the gold was river Kusharu. Back then, whenever we actually floods in the river, people could find gold flakes or gold, chips in their paddy fields. This is what happened, and now she gets the time to give blessings to the villagers and jumps in. So she says that first I'll pronounce it in normal Konkani language, and then I'll translate it. So she says, "Ei Chandra, Chandor gaon pad जाऊ, ओइलेलेंचे बरे जाऊ आणि हाडलेलेंचे रांड जाऊ." The meaning says that, "Ei Chandrapur, let the Chandor village go into disaster." The girl who's born in Chandor village, when she gets married to the guy from outside the Chandor village, let her life becomes full of happiness. But any girl who is born outside the Chandor village, when she gets married to the guy from Kota area, let she become widow, how I became widow at a village. And that's what happened, and she jumped in the water bodies. Till now, Chandor village is known as the first village, and whenever you do a research, 2011, it was 21 economical connection, what we do, the counting, right, Janagana, that says that Salset Taluka holds, in Salset Taluka, Chandor village is a village, majority of villages in Taluka, and they say that there is one in a year, so they say it's not like a person like simply, they died, natural death, or this and that. That's the thing what happens, and people still do believe, and because of that,
Women don't want to get married.
even if they don't, no.
That's why the guys will shift so they'll have to shift That's why he
That's why you
says.
shifted a lot of
I'll tell you the story now. I'll tell you my story. So my grandfather used to work like in Africa. So when he came back, they used to stay here, and he couldn't get a girl to get married because he was from Chandor. So he all the way got married to the girl from Mumbai. I was telling her the same thing.
Yeah.
So he got married to the girl from Mumbai, and that's why my family got connected to Maharashtra. And then my papa's papa, my great-grandfather, he was like, okay, my elder son is facing problem, all my three younger sons will face a problem. So they shifted to other villages, and that's how they shifted. So we say that the family who left these particular places, we left burning salt in this town, so that we never come back to this place. So that's why a lot of people, you say houses are abandoned, but there are few people who proudly still stay, and they don't. I think Zaina's sister got married, one of my colleagues' sister also got married in the same area. They stay. When my sister got married, we told my Gigi to buy the house outside the village.
And that is why the girl can stay. She's here.
So that's what happened. This place is technically known to be Ishwarache Ghar. one of the very prominent and the oldest temple in particular, Chandor or the Kadamba dynasty at this particular place. Constructed back there in 7th century. This particular temple holds 3 underground floors, and they say that you all know the story of Rani Padmavati,
Yes.
right? We all know that they have a very strong connection to Goa. So when Rani Padmavati did the Johar Kund, one of the biggest sati in all over this, right, in this dynasty, Alauddin, who technically got mad at her because she did Johar in front of him, he became so angry that he sent his all small troops to all over India to destroy. And when he summoned all these troops, they ended up coming to Goa as well, and that's how when the capital shifted from Chandor to Gopakapatnam, Pilar, it was destroyed by his people, and they also came and they destroyed this particular area. So if you have ever been to St. Xavier's College in Mumbai, if you ever plan to go, the hill of Nandi Bull, the point to found are being kept there in that particular place. So they say that these were the bricks which we used initially to construct temple. The temple was destroyed. The Nandi has also been destroyed because they used to think that initially people used to hide out of gold, jewelry, expensive stones inside idols. So if you see the other side of the Nandi Bull, the belly has been cut to just see if inside there's any mark or to the hidden place. So Nandi Bull is the only.
excavated?
Yes, it was in the corner there. So it was excavated by Father Henry Harris during 1927 to 1929. This river flows from the Western Ghats, and this is the same river because of King Harihara was killed. It was traveled here. This is the same river because it became one of the first recorded capital of Goa. Travelers coming up, Arabs were the first people who traveled from this, and they also say that later because of this river itself, because of this river's mistake, the capital also got declined. So this river started silting and the ships could get stuck in the mud. So initially, this was used from like caste system. This was used for caste system initially. So the higher class people never allowed lower class people to come inside. So whenever this one used to sit here, also there used to be not very good transport, right? People used to walk a lot and everything. So for to rest, this was also used. And later this was also used for the Portuguese soldiers who used to come to pass the message. They were to sit and unless and until the main from the family comes, they were going to sit here. Since now we don't have caste system for Portuguese rule, we use this chair as gossiping seats. You have a cup of chai or afternoon beer mug.
So this is Mr. Ranjit.
I'll just introduce myself. It's a family house with many generations, many dynasties. So these are the things from our house. These are the old steam measure. These are the old boilers to boil water and all. The coal over there and the hot water. No. The water will be poured inside, and then the coal will be there.
Oh, you put the coal from.
Yeah, like a boiler.
So the log.
Yeah, this is a dance performed every year. It's called the Musul dance, the warrior dance. Still they practice. During Carnival time, we perform it. Carnival is in February or March, the dance is performed. It's like a warrior dance, victory dance. It's dance till date we practice it. Like the Hindu priests who does the prayer, mass prayer prisoner. Like we all are from different parts of India, we all belong to different dynasties. The dynasties are been fought similar to that. Yeah, where we use the stick to press the drum. Yeah, we're going down like that. And you can see this on YouTube. I don't have the lyrics. Yeah, very best. Maybe you can go on YouTube and later on you can find out what it is. Yeah, this gentleman you see was my great grandfather, 3 times great grandfather. You can see the date of this portrait. Come closer. 23rd of December 1912. Yeah. And there you could play the piano, it works upwards. Yeah. You will learn to hide the money secretly.
Phone. Hide the
Do you
phone.
want to hide your money
Yeah, you
secretly?
yeah, come. I'll help you in hiding the money secretly. Come. I don't secretly.
No money right now.
No money now. So I'm getting them left the money.
Is this safe?
Yeah.
How is it a secret place?
Yes.
People will not know.
No, people will not know. Yeah. But now, one of you would like to hide your jewelry, will hide it secretly over here. You will look how it actually looks like. And then you like to hide again. 1, 2, 3. You like to hide again.
From all the sides. Like it's empty once you open it, but then
You
you
would
put
like to
from
hide
top.
again. No jewelry, no gold, nothing. Yeah. Go straight again, go to the left. Go straight again, go to the left. It's like this. This left. This right. This in the center. And then close it. And close the door. That's a European design but locally done here. These are the copper plates where the Indians would eating, were eating their food. Yeah, these are the copper plates what we had. And a coconut which I showed you below, another one at that. Now I was telling you I were tired and I wanted to escape from the enemy. Actually this was like a wardrobe, so I needed to change clothes, a walk-in wardrobe. For a lady to change clothes. Yeah, you can hide and change your clothes. You can learn, don't see her. Yes, she's come, not a ghost, huh? Now all of them want to escape from the enemy. There was a passage over here. Sorry?
It's easy to hide from the husband as well.
I told you there's a river behind the house, so one could escape.
Can I go down there?
Yeah, of course. I don't feel comfortable in going.
Yeah.
Come.
Just a few snakes.
No snakes. No worries. No snakes.
No animals, no enemy.
No,
The steps are steep though.
Yeah.
It's whoever is like very tall. It's very slippery. That's what I said. I spotted one. They asked me to show the enemy, but then I saw my father.
Yeah.
So now this leads to the living room. I mean, this holes.
No, it would lead us out to the river.
No, the holes are.
No, holes are just as you
holes.
come down the steps.
With the stair,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can see the person's
You can see the
Yeah.
person. Go quickly and you see.
Yeah, see the
Staircase.
staircase.
Yeah.
Where's the river?
This is the closest range. Yeah, this is the closest range where you can see the enemy. Yeah. Another thing was that I was a tunnel to go further on. What will happen? We get heavy rains, so it just collapsed. We do not know which direction it was, because it was mud, stone, and lime, and we get heavy rains in monsoon time, and there was no records later on. And this was a chain to measure the distance of land. Now I'm going to measure the land in meters, other by chains. 2 chains, 3 chains, 4 chains. Measure the distance. Just outside is a car park, but actually our house was very low at one time. Things have been changing from the Indian style to European style. These are all the lamps. Now we all got mobile torches. These were the old lighting systems, old lamps were there. And irrespective, now since we have Catholics, the Roman Catholic saints are there. The prayer, like the patron saint of God, St. Francis Xavier, Our Lady of Grace, patron saint of our temple, St. James. And of course, my dad had a collection of medals, 300 medals of different shape and design. Here. This is one robe, another one head. Yeah, pendants. Yeah. No, ordinary metals. Sorry.
No.
Which symbol has the meaning? Who has prepared a cup of tea? That's what this cup.
Yes, the same.
We're done with the tour. We're heading for some snacks. So they're gonna provide us with kokum. They give us a choice of tea or kokum. So we went for the kokum and some snacks.
These are things what I love sharing with Feni. They say a lot of things pair well with Feni, but if you ask me, what we have very locally goes very well with Feni. So one of the best things goes well with Feni is this pickled raw mangoes.
Okay, yeah.
So you need to keep it in the season time, April, May, and use it for entire year. Yes, Tara Shira. And as a fusion, because culture is also moving ahead, and some pickled chilies and carrots as well. And this lemon chili kokum. If you mix kokum with it, it will become tamle rosa.
Okay.
You know the famous tamle rosa, right? Yeah. And this is Rina. You have learned already.
That's cute. You have already.
Okay. So when I learned about Feni, I learned it in this way that this salt, the traditional brown color, the tamle salt meat, goes very well with Feni because it has a particular essence or the taste of proper salt, what you don't get in different salt. So I feel. So this is the proper tamle meat which we buy in gallons and tons and tons. This is the same salt we use for the bread making as well. Yes. So this will never be a dry salt. We always have a moisture. Chilies, kokum syrup, and salt. Salt. You just stir it in a while, and then Feni. So let me know how much Feni you want, like how much you want. You can put it.
This is enough?
Sure, no, put more. A bit actually, yes. Now, I have limca here. It's up to you how much you add limca. If you don't want more strong, you can add more limca. If you want a bit strong, you can add less limca. Okay, I take this. I just
Put it, stir it.
yeah, just stir it. Leave it. Take this. Right.
Recording, no?
Wow. So since same way other parts of India people are known for bhang and everything, it's a season, no? So the winter ends, summer starts, the first festival is Holi. Similar way, in Goa we are not more in bhang people, but we are more in Feni. So the thing which is the jungle juice of Goa has 3 phases. The first phase after the first fruit, that the cashew, has been harvested, and then they make the urak. Urak doesn't have a good long time, like long survival period.
It's a first distillation, right?
First distillation. Second is the Kazulong, and third one is Feni.
has a small percentage of alcohol, but the more you whiskey, the more the alcohol.
There's more flavorful.
And Feni can like survive very long period. We apart from our alcohol time, we also consume Feni as a medicine.
Yeah.
We do it for joint, but we also massage for joints and everything. If people say if we have a lot of high fever, we put it for our body, we massage it for our body. And third thing is Copa Puspaji, like take 1 spoon. So what my daddy should do is you should take a small container, put 2 to 3 tablespoons of spoon Feni, put sugar and light it.
Yes,
And
yes, I was just going to tell you that. That's the best medicine.
That burns really, but next day itself you're cold.
You
Yeah.
can use this for food. Penny
Yeah.
can be used for Ura can be used.
So we.
No, Ura doesn't have a very long survival.
So
We say that Ura gets spoiled.